Hello guys, I hope you're all excited knowing the power of Figma as a design tool.
So, today let us design a low fidelity wireframe of this Airbnb website right over here. First of all, what exactly are wireframes? Wireframes are basically the blueprint of how a website or an app would look like. Just like architectures need a blueprint to design buildings, web designers need wireframes to design a website or an app. Wireframes can be of three types depending on the level of detail that they carry. They can be low fidelity ones, like right over here, which contains minimum information and just convey how the overall structure of a website would look like. Or they could be mid fidelity ones, which carry a little more detail, or they could be high fidelity ones, which greatly resemble how the final product would look like. Now, why are they important? They are important to nail down good user interface. A good user interface is what differentiates an app or a website. So, let's start designing. I have opened the Figma website right over here, and now I am going to open a new design file by clicking on this blue design file button right over here. I could also open it by going near the drafts option and clicking on the new file option and clicking on the new design file. Here I can also see the import option, which I can use to import any file in on my laptop, which I might have designed through Sketch or React or other softwares. Let me open the new design file. So I've opened the new design file. To rename it, I can simply double click over here and start typing. Let me call it Airbnb version 1. Here I can see various options, like this is the main menu, and here I see different options, and this is layers pane, assets pane. Here from here I can add different pages, like if when I click on the add a new page option, I can add new pages. Let us explore all these things in detail as we go along. First of all, we should add a frame. A frame will basically be the boundary within which we'll design things. So, to add a frame, I'll go to this region tools, which looks like an hash option right over here, and click on the frame option. To add a frame, I could simply hold and drag to get my desired size. But I don't need to worry about the size because Figma has a lot of pre-existing sizes available right over here. Like you can see, a lot of sizes are there for phone, tablet, desktop, presentation, watch, and other things. As we are going to design a wireframe for a desktop version, let me select a standard size MacBook Air. Now to add a new frame, I could simply duplicate this. So to duplicate this, I'm going to do Ctrl plus D on the keyboard. And there you have it, I have two frames. To name a frame, I can simply double click over here and start typing. This could be the home page. Or I could even go over here and double click and start typing. Now I have two frames, and you can see that this is the layers column. This will basically show you what all is there on your page and on which layer is it arranged. Like now I have the home page. I am going to zoom in now. To zoom in, you can click on the plus button on your keyboard, or you can also do Control plus. Now let me look at the website. Okay, first of all, let me add a placeholder for a logo, this, and these placeholders for these options right over here. So to add a placeholder for a logo, what I'm going to do is I'm going to the shape tools option right over here, which has a rectangle option by default. So I can choose the rectangle option, and I can again hold and drag to get a rectangle. You can see that if I hold down shift and then hold and drag, it will automatically be a square. Let me remove that, and okay, this is a rectangle. Now I've added some rectangles, and now I'm going to add the placeholder for these using the circle option. So I'm going to select the ellipse option right over here from the shape tool, and again you can guess what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold and drag. Now let me duplicate this. Again Ctrl plus D, and then hold and drag it to your required position. And now if you again do Ctrl plus D, it will simply repeat the last action you performed. So let us do that some more times. And I have added this. Now let me add a rectangle. To change the color of these rectangles, you can go to the fill option right over here in design pane. This design pane has a lot of options. This can tell you the x and y coordinates of this rectangle, the width and height of it, the rotation angle, and the corner radius. To change the corner radius, I can simply type in the value like 12, and you can see that it has nice little rounded edges now. I can do this over here also, but I could simply hold my cursor over the corner radius option and drag it, or I could double tap over here, and using the up arrow key on my keyboard, I could change the value like this. Now I can change the color by going to the fill option right over here and selecting a color. The white color, let me make it white like this, but now I can't see it. So let me add stroke. Stroke option is basically used to add a boundary. You can select the color of the boundary right over here, and you can see there are a lot of colors to choose from, and if you have the code of the color in hexadecimal values or RGB values, CSL, HSL, HSP values, you could enter them directly over here. Using this option, you can change the width of the stroke, and using this option, you could define where to apply the stroke to. Now I've added one more rectangle over here, and I'm going to add another ellipse, and hold and drag. Let me change the color of the ellipse to white. I can see the document colors readily available over here. Change it to white, add a stroke, and let me reposition it. Modify it, and this can be our toggle button. Now let me add some rectangles also over here for the different images. Let me duplicate them. I've added 4 rectangles as the placeholder for the images. Now let us add some text. To add text, you go to the text option right over here, which is denoted by a capital T, quite obviously, and then we can, again, you can guess, hold and drag to make a text box. And then I can simply start typing. Let me type logo over here. and I can change the font style from over here. But it is important to note that when we are designing a low fidelity wireframe, we don't want to use any fancy font. A low fidelity wireframe would basically be there to explain how a structure would look like. So you don't want some fancy font diverting your attention away from the actual structure. But we can play with the font face right over here to show the level of different level of text. Like, let me make it bold and let me increase its size right over here, and you can see that this will stand out. You'll see that okay, this logo should stand out. I can make the text box to be auto width by using this option. I can change its alignment also, text align, and this paragraph spacing and line height and letter spacing and all the other, and this can be auto height and auto width. Similarly, let me add another text box over here. And I'll change it to medium. I'll reduce the font size to 20 so that it's a little smaller than the logo. And I can duplicate this over here. This could be you can see the red margins which appear when I move things. These are there to help me align things better. What is written over here? Add guest. I can change it to light.
Now I've added a little more text boxes.
And since this is the home page, let me change the height of the frame a little bit so that we can scroll below. Okay, this is fine. And now I want this to be repeated every time. It will be a pain if I have to duplicate this each time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of this like this, and then let me right click and click on the group selection option right over here. Now what you'll see this that a group 1 has been formed over here in the layers pane. This shows that this group 1 is within this home page frame, and within this group 1 we have all this stuff. So what exactly does this group mean? It means that I can edit everything as a whole like now. So now if I duplicate this by Ctrl plus D and I drag it below, I can copy paste the whole group. And again, I can move the whole group together.
So what exactly does this group mean? It means that I can edit everything as a whole now.
And this is nearly complete. Let me add some lines now. I can go to this line option right over here, and if I can simply, again you can guess, hold and drag for a line to come. I can change color by going to the stroke option and selecting the gray document color, and you can see that this line is gray in color now. I can add some more lines. You can see that this line is not quite 90-degree. I could go and edit the angle right over here. Or what I could do is, when I make the line, I could hold down the shift key and then hold and drag. This is perfect. Let me remove this and duplicate this one. You can change its color also to gray. I've added some more lines over here and here, and I've changed this to white and added some lines. Now I can see that my wireframe for the search page is nearly complete. Let me add some other things like a circle right over here to indicate a search option. Then a rectangle over here. And a text box. I can select this as a whole. I can even select things from this layer pane over here. Like if I select this show maps, and if I hold down shift key and select this rectangle 11, I've selected the both of them, and I can right click and do the group selection, the shortcut of which is Ctrl plus G. Now this is a group. I can move it a little. Let me duplicate this, and I can paste this here also. And yes, our low fidelity wireframe for the home page is ready. As an exercise, you could also try making a low fidelity wireframe for the search page. This page right over here. You can see that it will look something like this. Congratulations, you have designed your first low fidelity wireframe. In our next video, let us convert this boring looking low fidelity wireframe to a high fidelity one, like this one. But we still have a long way to go before we can do this. So stay tuned for more. If you found this session useful, please like and share this video. Comment below to let us hear your thoughts. And please subscribe the channel to get updates on our upcoming videos. Till then, keep exploring and keep designing. I'll see you in the next video.